During these unprecedented times, Senator Keenan joins dozens of other representatives in Massachusetts as they try to combat the ongoing pandemic. As more steps are being taken to try and flatten the curve, many people are trying to see if these measures, like canceling school for the rest of the year and the shutdown of non-essential businesses, are actually helping fight the spread of COVID-19, as well as when we can eventually return to some sort of normal life again.
Given that we were so late in the school year, I just thought the logistics involved in getting teachers back to the classroom, the administration back into the buildings, and then the students back, and then trying to focus on education was going to be very difficult. And there's still a lot of parents who are not working, who are having difficulties with childcare as it is, and if they were to go back to work, it'd be very difficult for them to find childcare placement. I think that we have to continue testing and increase testing. Yesterday, which was Thursday, the 23rd, between Wednesday and Thursday, the 22nd and 23rd, the state did more testing than it had previously done. And that testing showed a pretty significant increase in the numbers of people testing positively for the virus. So that data is very important for us. So that has to continue. I think we have to keep doing that and doing it at the levels that we've done in the last couple of days. Two, I think we have to now focus on antibody testing. And that's so that we can get a sense of who can go back to work and when. But I think just as importantly, the information we get from antibody testing will give us a chance as we study this pandemic for purposes of learning things. The antibody testing will give us some really incredible information as to the full scope of the virus, how much it had really made its way into our population. The more testing we do to determine how prevalent the virus still is, meaning how many people are testing positive, how many people are being hospitalized, and then also once we get a sense of on the antibody testing, how many people have already been exposed or infected and therefore can go back to work. Once we get those numbers, we'll have a better sense. I think when the data shows that we've had for 14 days of a change in the previous pattern, then that's a sign that we're getting to the point where we can start considering loosening some of the restrictions. And I think we'll be in a position where we're still doing distancing for quite some time. I think we'll be in a position where there's remote work being done for quite some time. Obviously, the schools won't be back until the fall, so that sense of normalcy won't happen until then. And let's hope that actually does happen then. Same with colleges. So I think it's going to be several months before we feel like we're back to where we were. And then, of course, we have to be cautious about the reemergence or outbreak of the disease, again, the virus reemerging and having an impact on our local communities.
Many students at Holbrook Middle High School already know about Senator Keenan's frequent visits here. He's met multiple students personally and has helped with pieces of legislation as well.
I love all the communities I represent, and I try to give them equal representation regardless of their size. But there's something about the town of Holbrook that I can't explain it. There's a certain spirit there. And then I guess it comes to just getting to know the students through the Civics Club and seeing how committed they are to their community and to the Commonwealth, and with the vaping legislation and tobacco legislation, how committed they are to making a difference in the country, and their work is actually going to be impactful around the world. So it's a small town, but it has a really big spirit, really big heart.
To wrap things up, Senator Keenan has some words for the senior class whose last year was cut short.
It's hard. I remember my senior year of high school and how much I enjoyed those last few weeks. It was just a period where you could kind of relax more. You felt like the academics were a little bit behind you. You spent some time bonding with your classmates beyond those that you were kind of close with in the normal course of your high school career. That expanded during those last few weeks. And then you have the different events, and those events give you a sense of accomplishment. And so what I'd say to the seniors at Holbrook High School and to the other high schools in my district is don't feel that the work that you've done throughout your high school career isn't being recognized. There are people who are thinking of you all the time and are very proud of what you accomplished. And I can say I particularly when it comes to Holbrook High School, I have a soft spot because we've worked so closely with them. I've worked so closely with them on a couple pieces of legislation, and they have impressed me so much. And those that are seniors know that in the course of your career, you've done some pretty great things in high school, academically, athletically, legislatively, some really incredible things. And take this as a unique situation, try to learn from it, take it with you, and maybe take it as hey, we didn't have those last 5, 6, or 7 weeks together, and make an effort to make up for that over the next 5, 10, and 15 years by staying in touch with your high school classmates. Having that sense of community that comes with being in a high school is a wonderful thing. And because you can't share this next 6 weeks or the past few weeks, share the next 10, 15, 20, and 30 years by staying in touch with each other and using this as a catalyst for that.
This has been Andrew Luarasi with Code Blue News, signing off.